What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the Awesome Night broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles, folks. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one. We're live, we're alive, and I'm here, and it's Friday. It's Freaky Friday. You know, it's fucked up Friday. Haas, now that ASMONGOLD is banned, you have to step in and make Warhammer videos instead. Interesting point that you just raised. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, ASMONGOLD is banned. I tweeted the classic Hitler dead meme. It's time for me to pivot to MMORPGs. It's time for me to pivot to World of Warcraft. It's not all that significant. I mean, he'll be back. The cockroach will be back. He's not perma-banned for sure. Yeah, I'll stop showering in order to become more appealing to the cockroaches who are watching. I won't clean my house any longer, and I will, do my very best. Yeah, one thing the left has been missing is a guy who doesn't shower. That's the real short and sweet of it. Yeah, the cockroach is down, folks. For the cockroach, for ASMONGOLD, I mean, there isn't a day that goes by where he's saying, where he's not saying a bannable thing. Obviously, the right wingers, they spend a good deal of time claiming that I'm doing bannable shit. I'm saying bannable shit. You know, they try it, and now their attempts are actually making their way to mainstream news as well. I mean, it didn't work on the internet. It didn't work on the internet. It's not going to work in mainstream news as well. This is the one that they keep unearthing, where I'm talking about, my favorite flags. Like, we're talking about the coolest flags from a vexillology perspective, and I say it's the Hezbollah flag, and they're like, oh, I can't believe he's saying this. I said, this is a comedy podcast. I know it's a difficult concept for an Israeli to understand. Should you call him such names? Cockroach is dehumanizing, even if he's a piece of shit. Yeah. I mean, he calls me a terrorist. He calls Somalis parasites. But I think his own community have recognized that they're cockroaches. Like, that's a self-described moniker. Yeah, he calls himself the Roach King. But it's very funny. To be fair, I do appreciate like neo-Nazis that are big fans of ASMONGOLD coming in here to feign woke 1.0 attitudes. Woke 1.0 attitudes like, oh well, I don't know if this is appropriate. I really find it dehumanizing language. Yeah, well, he calls himself a cockroach. He calls his community the Roach Ranch. I think it's unfair to cockroaches in general. All the comments and the hidden replies are about you. Yeah, of course. As soon as ASMONGOLD gets banned, you already know. Twitch ban. They deserved it. Blame Hasan. They didn't deserve it. Blame Hasan. You already know what's up. Anytime this kind of thing happens, like his community immediately start brigading everything. I'm just going to show you exactly what we suspect is the reason why he got banned, because it can be a million different things. I mean, he is a TOS violation, a walking terms of service violation machine for the most part. But I have a good idea of what it was that did him in this time around. It's most likely the advocacy that he was engaging in about murdering migrant children. So that's the reason why he got banned. I mean, he's done so much more. It's kind of crazy that that's just the tip of the iceberg, really. It's the tip of the iceberg as far as like what got him banned, because he does commentary, like violent commentary, urging his followers to go out and do violence against the police for what he perceives as the police protecting the Somali community in Minneapolis. He's done that. I mean, he's advocated for violence by leaning into systemic forces of violence often. Like, that's the way he does it, where he'll just be like, I should just kill everyone all the time. He has advocated ASMONGOLD has advocated to put people in concentration camps, labor camps for, civil offenses. He's advocated to murder protesters exercising their First Amendment rights. He also doesn't shower at all, which I find to be very strange. It's a strange decision. Yeah, he's advocated for terrorizing the police for not brutalizing immigrants. I mean, all of those clips are out there, right? They're readily available. So, I mean, it's a fairly standard moment. So I suspect it's difficult to identify exactly what did him in. Asmongold says undocumented children need to get shot if they cross the border with their parents.
This is emotional blackmail, right? Well, you can't shoot these people. They have kids with them. Well, then don't bring your kids. If you don't want to get shot, then don't bring your fucking kids. It's really simple. You mean you'd shoot adults and deport the kids, right? Well, I'd shoot whoever. Yeah, I'd shoot whoever. I mean, if it's kids, women, men, anybody, just shoot them. They're going to stop coming over.
I think he's been watching too much pro-Israel commentary that he thinks this kind of shit would fly. You know, the last time he did this and got banned, it was the same thing. He was talking about how, you know, genocide is totally permissible, that the Palestinians are barbaric and deserve genocide. And now he's doing it again. How is this not a permanent ban? Twitch doesn't usually offer permabans, especially to someone who's as large as Asmongold. Let's be real. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know how long this ban will be. I suspect maybe 7 days, maybe 14. Chop it down to 7 on good behavior, something like that. I mean, this is the only reason why this happened is because it was highlighted. It was such a heinous thing. It was such a heinous statement that even normies were like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, just a reminder, Morgan and many other smaller content creators got 30 days. They got banned for 30 days for doing a tier list where the bottom of the tier list was, enjoying Sabra hummus. The Sabra hummus gate. That was 30 whole days. Meanwhile, Asmongold has been advocating, agitating, trying to foment violence towards every marginalized community, whether they be overseas, being destroyed by the American military, the Israeli military, or even here with ICE, over and over and over again. I suspect it was this was what crossed the line for Twitch, especially because there was a lot more outside attention.
Children and women as shields to get themselves over. And then they'll put more women and children at risk because they know that they can use them as collateral so they can get more of themselves over. That's the way it works. That's the way an animal thinks, and these people are animals.
Yeah, this is classic Asmongold saying, you know, immigrants are animals. I'm not like being super woke about this or anything. I'm just going to give it to you straight. White supremacy is low IQ cope. You only lean into these kinds of narratives when you feel insecure, when you recognize your station in society doesn't match up where you think you would be. And for a lot of people, they just cope with the idea that like they were supposed to be this powerful being. They were supposed to be this domineering force in American society around the world. So they're desperate to punch down at anything they possibly can. So that's all it is. Yeah, anti-black, being a white supremacist is the easiest way to identify someone as being low IQ and coping. And there's perhaps no better example of this than what he's doing here, where he goes, these people are animals, right? He talks about undocumented migrants or just refugees as animals while simultaneously advocating to slaughter them. You're worse than an animal. The thing that separates man from the rest of the animals is the capacity to feel empathy, the capacity to go beyond simple self-preservation. It is our capacity to feel empathy as a social animal. So when you want the American government to react as a feral animal, as a predator, you are unironically the actual animal, not the undocumented migrants. You are behaving like an actual feral animal. Because white supremacy is low IQ cope, a lot of the people in Asmongold's community don't recognize it as such. They don't realize that they are the ones who are agitating. They are the ones who are behaving like feral animals when they demand this kind of violence towards people that they've never met or people that they might have met, that they might like.
It's just the way it is. They're savages. Absolute fucking savages. Hamas tactics, yeah, terrorists.
Hamas tactics, they're savages. We are not the savages, he says.
Want to do that. Doesn't mean you want to do it. But you have to do what you need to do in order to enforce your borders, man. Like, that's the way it is. People are too emotional to see that. Yeah, I mean, like, again, like, it's you can't make decisions that way. And I understand the way that I talk about this might be a little bit extreme. It might be a little bit
That is a clip that was shared by his own Cliff Farm. It has his watermark. It was a take they thought was worth highlighting. Lamau, that entire community is full of sociopaths. Yeah, no, he got hoisted by his own petard for sure, because they are increasingly more right-wing, increasingly more reactionary on that side of the internet. Part of it is because on Twitter, these kinds of takes that are unbelievably extreme, unbelievably violent, these sorts of takes are normalized. And I think Elon Musk's algorithm boosts these sorts of takes, and it makes people feel comfortable saying things like this, when in fact, it's perhaps one of the most disconnected attitudes that you could have. Because in the real world, if you were to say things like this, in the real world, if you were to talk about, what must be done to refugees, to migrants, to people that work in these industries that you consider to be invisible, but are very visible and very important aspects of the American economy, our neighborhoods, our communities, most people would probably get very frustrated with what you have to say. I often talk about the permissible boundaries of racism, misogyny, and there is definitely a level that most Americans broadly would be comfortable with, and this goes far above that. There are a lot of people that identify with or find sympathy with white supremacist talking points to a certain degree until it goes past a certain point. They won't ban us on for praising terrorists. They're two sides of the same coin. Who cares, man? Please. Yes, I think we have a real crisis in stupidity. Many people want to simply appear smart. And one of the easiest way to try and appear smart when you're a stupid person is to say horseshoe theory, two sides of the same coin. I'm actually a moderate. I'm actually right at the center of these two different dangerous forms of commentary. It's just a lot of people are stupid. You're looking at a super botted website. We don't have to address every single stupid person and the way that they misunderstand jokes, the way that they misunderstand hyperbole, sometimes directly and sometimes because they're just stupid. There is no equivocation, no moral or any kind of intellectual equivalence between someone like myself and someone like HasanDaily. We are not two sides of the same coin. I guess he's my polar opposite in many respects. I shower. I'm educated. This is something I truly care about. I have moral convictions. He has none of that. He doesn't shower. He's not educated. He has no moral convictions whatsoever. He's simply a grifter. And also, I believe in uplifting all people, and he certainly does not. I believe that we shouldn't murder children. He clearly believes we can murder some children, right? So in that sense, we are polar opposites of one another. But dumb people will look at, the situation and go, well, I don't agree with Hasan. And I've been duped into believing that he's this dangerous radical. And therefore, I'm going to sit here and say people who say that the international law recognizes the occupied people's right to militarily resist against an occupation is exactly the same as advocating to murder children. Yeah, only if you're a fucking stupid person who's fallen victim to unlimited amounts of propaganda do you make that decision. And unfortunately, there's a lot of stupid people.
Unemotional. I wish we had more people like me. I do. I wish we had more, because we got too many pussies that are too worried about the optics of something rather than the reality.
Yeah, again, another clear-cut sign of insecurity is leaning into the argument. Even in movies, like, what fucking hero says we have to murder children? Simply put, only villains say things like that. Only weak people say things like that. A strong man protects the vulnerable. You are the pussy. A strong man protects the vulnerable. A strong man protects the weak. It is weak men who constantly try to harm those who are marginalized, to hurt those who have less than they do. It sucks that these guys have such a cynical attitude about this sort of stuff. It sucks that these guys have such a villainous outlook, such a sociopathic way to view the world, where they genuinely think like all virtue is fake. And it might be fake for them. It might be fake for them. Maybe not everyone in the community, maybe not everyone that watches Asmongold. I still believe that there are plenty of people who watch him because they've just been duped into believing that he has a sensible position on these issues. And I hope that moments like this are opportunities for them to kind of snap out of it, to be like, okay, this was a bridge too far. I do find this to be a really insane statement. It's not sensible. It's not sensible to say that the American government should murder children and that they're all of these refugees they're animals, they're barbaric. I think the side that demands to murder children is the barbaric side, is the savage side. And I don't think that's a controversial take at all. There is no world where the good guy in any movie or in any book, any TV show that says we have to murder children. That's not what good guys do. You're calling on the murder of children. It's very Israel coded, which is unsurprising because Asmongold has found himself also defending Israel quite a bit. You know, the real right-wing populist hero that loved Donald Trump because Donald Trump was a heterodox thinker. Donald Trump was going to be the peace president. These guys love talking about how, like, I'm not dying for Israel. Kamala Harris is going to get us into war with Iran, until Donald Trump got us into war with Iran, and now they think the war with Iran is good. These people don't have any clear positions. They don't have any moral convictions. That's a major difference between people like myself and many people that operate in this commentariat sphere. When Joe Biden, who I despise, does something wrong, I call it out. When Joe Biden, who I don't like, does something right, I praise him. I praise Joe Biden pulling out of Afghanistan when many in the media yelled at him over it. It was the right thing to do. And I criticize Joe Biden for continuing the genocide of Palestinians, for offering Israel the runway, the social and political cover, for offering Israel all of the unlimited weapons and tax dollars and support that it could possibly get from the American government. I praise Biden for appointing Lena Khan, for protecting consumers, balls and strikes.
We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. We'll fight for the gospel. We'll honor his name. We are Charlie Kirk. His courage on. Together unbroken. We'll make heaven known.